I'm going to go ahead and do a walkthrough of the whole layout of my walled Sierra. Pretty much I've got Mako 22s on this thing with Nito 420S tires. We've got the diamond plate toolbox in the back, diamond plate bed caps. The back three windows are blacked out completely. The side ones are actually painted. The back one is covered in carpet. So it's completely blacked out. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. I've just got some Kicker KS components with the tweeters mounted in a coaxial mounting. It just was made for simplicity and made it for easier install. I was trying to get these in a hurry. These are the 6.5s. They're run on a Memphis 4 channel, which I'll show you here in a minute. Here in the back with the wall, I've got the two AQ 3500s strapped. Got several runs of aught going from the front to the back. I've quad alts under the hood. I've a run of aught Stinger from power and ground off each alt, so there's 8 runs total. And the way I have them wired up is I have a fuse block back here for each run of power with 300 amp A&L fuses, and also up underneath the hood. And then for the inline powers going to each amplifier, I have 200 amp A&L fuses on the hooker fuse blocks. And I have 3 aught inputs, that way I get equal current distribution across those fuse blocks. This wall is pretty much 1.5 inch MDF all the way around. The front face is actually 2 1/4. It's 3 layers thick. And I have each voice coil for each 15, where I can wire up any impedance I want to. All these are solid brass studs, so that way you get maximum current transfer and cooling and corrosion resistance. 3 really important things in car audio. As you can see, they're in a strap configuration, as I mentioned. I selected JL RCAs just for the fact that the barrels on these RCAs are very, very tight. The looseness around the actual grounding jacket of the barrel can cause you to induce static into the system, which is not something you want. These are very tight, very snug. They're even hard to spin. So that's one reason why I selected them. It's not because of name or because of price or anything like that. It's functionality. I've got the gain knob for the AQ amp mounted right next to my right hand in the driver's seat. I also have a gain knob mounted for the Memphis amp. The only reason this is here is because if you push this knob in, it will turn that amp off. So during a burp, I can reach over and push that knob in, turns that amp off, gives me a little bit more current, and that way I'm also not running any signal through the front doors. I've got the Kenwood head unit. I also have a Stinger voltmeter here that is flush mounted into the dash that reads at the AQ amplifier, so I know what the voltage is at all times. Very important. And then I have my excess power VCM mounted underneath the center console here, so I can control voltage on the alternators under the hood. Got the 4AQ HTC3s, aluminum coil, dual ones. They're in a flush mounted wall, and that is speaker carpet that I wrapped the wall in. Just kind of a spur of the moment type of decision. Didn't really decide on painting or anything like that until after the fact, so got plans for it later possibly, but as of right now it's working pretty good. Also have a removable slot port. Let's move this seat forward. You can see the port here. That's a daily port. It's tuned to 38 Hertz. You remove all these studs around the port, and it's tuned to 48, so that way it peaks at the peak of the vehicle. And that port is solely a burp only port. Got the excess power D3100s under the wall. Have one on the driver's side and one also over there on the passenger side. Have several runs of aught gauge between the 2 batteries. Actually, the configuration I have, the power coming in from the alts, is I have 2 runs from one alt going to this battery and then 2 runs going over to that battery. That way I don't create a bottleneck effect in charging. It's something that's commonly overlooked when doing high current installs like this, but it's one thing that I clearly focused on and addressed. And you can never have too much cable. The more wire you have, the more conductivity you have, the better your current transfer, the better your voltage will be. Let's take a look at up under the hood. And this is a 01 Chevy, actually GMC, Chevy, same thing, really. 5.3 Vortec, pretty common motor for this vehicle. What I ended up getting was the TEJ Current quad alt kit from him. Fantastic kit. The whole bracket is one solid piece of metal, which is just very hard to find. A lot of manufacturers don't do that. I was very impressed with that. The alternators as well. The top 3 here are TEJ Current alternators as well. I clamped them doing $242 each, which is just phenomenal. The price for these alternators is just absolutely ridiculous for the output you get. Very happy with this kit. The way I have them connected is I have the top 3 are in a configuration to where I can control voltage on them with the VCM. The bottom one, not really necessary. And plus I've had issues with the VCM charging all 4. Contacted Excess Power several times about it, and they don't think it's a big issue, so they don't think it's a problem. I don't either, so I'll just run the top 3 in that manner, and seems to charge fine like that. Actually, for daily, when I'm not competing, I only have the 1 alt furthest over here connected to the VCM. And then I have just this plug here, which connects the sense wire, and that's what actually controls voltage on these VCMs. Unplugged, and all I have to do is reach under the hood, plug that in, and I can ramp voltage up and down on all 3. I don't want to charge over 15 volts all the time. It's not healthy for these AGM batteries by any means. When they're cold, it's okay, but once they get hot, it's not a good thing. So that's the reason why I have that connected like that. I also have all the alts linked together with aught, and then ran to this front battery first. This wire here is not fused. Main reason is there's hardly any current that flows through this. Current's always going to flow in the direction of the demand. There's no demand here because it's being satisfied by the battery, and all the demand is in the back. So all the current's going to flow through these main lines and go through the back. That pretty much concludes the video of the truck. If you got any questions again on this, just hit me up. I'll see what I can do.